Welcome wherever you are. Teacher David here. Allow me take you through mathematics paper 1. This is August. This is July, August mocks. July, August. So this is paper 1. This one they were given then form 1 fractions. So how do you do this one? You start with the numerator. You deal with the numerator. You finish the numerator. Once you finish the numerator, then you deal with the numerator. So you write num. Once you write the numerator, you write the body mass. So you start with brackets, then of division, multiplication, addition, then subtraction. So let me take you through. So here, I started with the numerator. And the numerator, we have off from here. Off starts here and finishes at this point. So I converted this one 7 over this times this. So off means multiplication. So I'm using body mass. So off comes before division. So both brackets was not there. So that one gives me this. Now the next one is a division. So it is this 1 2 over 5 divided by the answer here. So this one you convert 5 times 1, that is 5 plus 2, 7 over 5. So 7 over 5 divided by 49 over this one. So division means multiplication with the reciprocal. So 7 over 5 times the reciprocal of this, which is 12 over 39, and that gives me 12 over 35. Now the last one is 3 over 5 minus this one. Now 3 over 5 minus this one, and the answer is this. Up to here you get 1 mark. Then you write the denominator. In the denominator, you check, you start with body mass. Is there a bracket? Yes. So you start with the brackets. So the bracket is 1 3 over 7 minus this. But in the bracket there is multiplication. So you first do multiplication first. So this one, you mark this one goes here once, goes here 4. So we have 5 over 12, right? So it is this times this, it is 7, 3, that is 10 over 7. So 10 over 7 minus the answer after multiplication inside the bracket. Then you get the answer as 85 over 84. Then you rewrite this one, 12 over 17 off of the answer. Off means multiplication, you multiply and you get the denominator. That gives you another 1 mark. Now the numerator divided by the denominator gives you the last mark. A team building an event. 40 red candles, 32 white candles, 24 green candles are arranged in groups. Now the question is, find the greatest number of arrangement. Find the greatest number of arrangement. Now greatest number means you find the Kcse, greatest common divisor. So some people wanted to start thinking that red, white wakaanza kufanya ni probability. So please just understand, if it is asking the least number, remember it is LCM. The greatest number, this is from 1 application. So you find the greatest common divisor. We have the numbers 40, 32, 24. Which number can divide all the 3 numbers? 2 divides them. So 2 divides this 20, divides this 16, this 12. 2 again can divide all these numbers, 20, like that. 2 again can divide 10, 8, and 6. Once it is here now, there is no number that can divide 5, divide 4, and divide 3. Therefore, it ends there. Therefore, the LCM, the greatest common divisor is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. A two-digit number is such that the sum of its digits is 13. When its digits are interchanged, the original number is increased by 9. Find the original number. So the first thing you need to do is to let the number to be xy. So let the number be xy. So this is the number, the first number, the second. Because it is a 2-digit number, it could be 72, 68, 19. It is a 2-digit number. So the first number is x, the second number is y. They're saying when you add the digits, the first digit plus the second digit, the answer is 13. That gives us our equation 1. Let's now go from when the digits are interchanged. So remember, initially we had xy. Now we are going to interchange it to be yx. So this is the ones and this is the tens. And this is now, the y is going to be in the tens place. And this one will be in the ones place. Very important. So the original number, when we add the digits, it is 10x plus y. Where did I get the 10x? Because this x, this is ones, tens. X equal to tens place value. So this is the original number. Now when they interchanged, the number became yx. So this is ones and this is tens. Now the new number is 10y plus x. This is the new number. But when they were interchanged in such a manner, they realized that the new number, which is this one, increased, the old number with the original number increased by 9, meaning the new number is bigger than the older, the original number. So it means when we subtract the new number, subtract the original number, you get the answer as 9. So when you open this bracket, you have this expression, this equation, then this is 9y minus 9x equal to 9. You divide by 9 both, you get this equation here. Now this is our equation 2. We solve it using elimination method or use another method you want to get. You find that the value of x is 6 and the value of y is 7. Therefore the number is 67. So if you can prove now your answer. So it means that 67 is the original number. When we interchange it, it will become 76. So 76, when you minus 67, the answer is 9 automatically. You see that? You can prove your work in such a way. A Kenyan business bought goods from Japan worth this Japanese yen. On arrival Kenya, a custom duty of 20% was charged on the value of goods. If the exchange rate were as follows, calculate the duty paid in Kenyan shillings. The duty paid in Kenyan shillings. So let's convert the money from the yen, Japanese yen, to Kenyan shillings first. So remember, now we are converting. We use Kcse, and for Kebu. So we are changing Kenya to foreign. We use selling table side. We are changing now foreign to Kenya. Foreign to Kenya, this is the one we are going to use because we are changing yens to Kenyan shillings. So we are going to use one. This one actually is just direct. There's no need of vocab here. Sorry. So this one is direct. So we need to convert the yens to Kenya shillings because $1 US is this one, and this. So it means 11. This one yen is the same as 76 Kenya shillings. So we can convert. We find that we will have 1,900,000 Kenya shillings. So the 20% is what we are looking for. So 20 over this times that, you get simply this. So my mind went far, but I have taught you about Kcse and Kebu, although we are not applying it here now. The curved surface area of a cylindrical container is 1980 centimeters square if the radius of the container is 21. Calculate to one decimal place the capacity of the container in liters. The capacity of the container in liters. So we have been given the surface area, the curved surface area of a cylindrical container. So what we don't have here is the height. So we first need to get the height of that container. So the surface area of a curved surface area is actually given by pi dh. Pi dh gives us the total curved surface area of a cylindrical container, pi dh. So because pi dh now is 19,880, now we need to get the height. So you remove the pi here, you divide by both sides. We remember we had if the radius of the container is this, so the radius is 21, therefore I'm using this formula for diameter. The diameter is 42. So you divide by the pi and the diameter. So pi and the diameter is 42, diameter and the pi. So when you divide that one, it gives you h is equal to 15. Now we have the height. Why do we need the height? Volume is equal to pi r square h. That's why we need the height. Then now volume will be 22/7, and this radius times height, and it gives us 2790. But we were told to give it in capacity, means in liters. So you know that 1000 centimeters cube is equal to 1 liter. We will ask this one is equal to then you give it this. Then you were told to 1 decimal place. So this one is not right. This student will get, if you write like this, you will get 3 marks instead of 4. Why? You did not, this one is not given. So I gave this one intentionally to show you that you will not get the last mark because you did not adhere to the question's demand 1 decimal place. So the correct answer here is 20.8 liters. So if you do like this, you will not get the last mark. A trader bought 416 trays of eggs. Here there was a mistake here, which was of 30 eggs tray of 30 eggs at Kenya shillings. This one, during transport, 10% of the eggs broke. How much must he sell the remaining eggs per dozen in order to make a profit of 35%? Remember, a dozen contains 12 things. So anytime you hear of a dozen, it is something, it is a dozen contains 12 things. You can have a dozen of books, a dozen of very many things. So let's start. So let's get the buying price. If we bought this one trays, and 1 tray is 500, then it must have spent this amount of money. That is the buying price. The number of eggs that he bought, it is 400, which is tray, and 1 tray is 30 eggs. Therefore, he bought these eggs, right? How many eggs are remaining? 10% has been broken, so we don't care about that. What we know is that 90 are not broken. So you get the remaining eggs are 90 out of 100. That's 100 minus 10%. So these are the remaining unbroken eggs. So the selling price, we want 35%. So let's get 35%. It means it is 100 plus 35, because our profit should be more than 100. So that's now we have 135 of 100 times this. It gives us 280,000. So this is the amount we are supposed to sell to get that profit we need. So the question was, how much should we sell per dozen? Already we have our profit here. Now 1 dozen is 12 eggs. Then let's get these remaining eggs. How many dozens are here? So it is this divided by 12. 11, 2, 3, 2 divided by 12 gives us the number of dozens. So you realize we have 336 dozens here. 336 dozens. So how much should we sell 1 dozen? Our money is 280,800. So we divide by the number of dozens, and we will sell 300 shillings per dozen, so that we can get the profit, which is 35% profit. Simplify this. So to simplify this, what is common here in the numerator? That is 5 is common into x plus 7. In the denominator, we have this is a difference of 2 squares. It means x minus 7 x plus 7. That is what it means. So here you needed to know that this is a difference of those squares. So this one will cancel out, and we will remain 5 or minus 7 as the final answer. Here, that how it was supposed to look. There was a problem with this one, so that's why we eliminated the other part. Given that sine theta is 5 over 13, find tan theta in its simplest form. So here you need to use the right angle triangle, because trigonometric ratios are done in a right angle triangle. So if we have here 90 degrees, we have theta here, then sine is the opposite, sine this theta is the opposite, which is 5 over hypotenuse, which is 13. So this one gives us 12 here using Pythagoras theorem. 13 square minus 25 square is 144. 144 square root is 12. So down here we have square. So what is tan theta? Tan theta, this is what we call here. This is 90 minus theta. This one is 90 minus theta. So tan 90 minus theta will be equal to, now you stand at this point here, and this one will be the opposite. Remember from Sokatoa, tan is opposite of adjacent. So from here, opposite is 12, adjacent is 5. So tan, this one will be opposite 12 over 5. And that one will be, we can simplify, that is 2, that is 10, 2 over 5. So they said in simplest form, and I think that is the simplest form we can give. Find the inverse. So getting the inverse of this, first you get the determinant. Our determinant is 7. This is, you multiply this and this to give you 7 times 2 minus the second diagonal, which is 3 times this. You subtract, you get our determinant is 2. So to get the inverse, it is 1 over the determinant. Then you change these values as follows. So for you to get the inverse, you need to change these values such that this one in equal to 7, and then this one in equal negative 3, in equal negative 4. So this one, then you multiply with the, that's how we interchange to get the inverse. Now once you have the inverse here, use matrix method to solve this equation. So this one you realize it is giving you this inverse. Then you pre-multiply this one with the inverse, and you get your answer. So if you are told to use matrix method, you must always remember to use matrix method. Any other method will not work, will not give you the correct answer. Or will give you the correct answer, but you will be marked wrong. There was a 0 here. If the mass of two similar cans is 960 and 15,000, if the total surface area of the smaller is 144 centimeters square, determine the surface area of the larger can. First, you need to understand that mass gives us the volume scale factor. Whenever you have mass, so mass of the bigger divided by mass of the small actually gives you volume scale factor. You need to remember that. So therefore, volume scale factor is equal to this one, mass of the bigger divided by that is this one. So what we need is linear scale first. We need to get the linear scale factor. Linear scale factor is equal to the square root of volume scale factor, the cube root of volume scale factor. So the cube root of this is this, gives us 2. So this one is the linear scale factor. Now for us to get the area scale factor, it is the linear scale factor square. So when you square linear scale factor square, gives you area scale factor. So area scale factor is equal to 2.5 squared. Now once we have now the area scale factor, and we know that the area scale factor is equal to area of big divided by area of small. Now we were given the area of the smaller. We are looking for the area of the larger. Therefore 6.25, which is the linear scale factor, which is the area scale factor, is equal to the x, which is we are looking for, divided by this, and it gives you x as 900 centimeter square. Four years ago, a father was 1.5. The question was corrected, and it was supposed to be 3 times. So here, then the father was 3 times the age of the son. In 10 years time, the sum of their age will be 8. Find the age of the father when the son was 5 years old. So let's look at the question. So let's today say the age of the father is x and the age of the son is y. Now that is now. 4 years ago. So when it is 4 years ago, we subtract that year. So if we for today, they have x, the father is x, and the son is y today. Therefore, 4 years ago, the father will be x minus 4, and the son will be y minus 4. That is 4 years ago. But in that time, the father is 3 times the son. So tunawezaje weka miaka ya mtoto itoshane na ya baba yake? Tunapiga times 3, because the father is 3 times. We to balance this one to say that the age of the father 4 years ago is equal to the age of the son 4 years ago. We need to multiply the age of the son times 3. You see that? Now when we do that, we get the balance equation, because now the age of the son will be equal to the age of the father when you multiply times 3, because the father was 3 times more, or 3 times, yeah. Therefore, x minus 4 is equal to 3y minus 12. Now you bring this on the other side, we plus here. So we have x minus 3. You bring this here, x minus 3 is equal to, ikienda pande hii itakuwa minus plus, so itakuwa minus 8. So that's the first equation. We will have x minus 3y is equal to negative 8, our first equation. You leave it there. You come here again. In 10 years time, so in 10 years time, today they are x. The father is x, the son is y. So in 10 years time, the father will be x plus 10, and the son will be y plus 10. And that's what we have done here. So in 10 years, the father will be x plus 10, and the son will be y plus 10. When you add, the age is going to be 8. So it means that now y plus x plus y, the answer is equal to 68. 68 imetoka wapi? 10 plus 10, it is 20. Ikivuka pande itakuwa minus 20. Inakuwa. So that's our equation 2. Now we solve these two equations, equation 1 and equation 2, using elimination, substitution, any method. You get that the value of y is 19. The value of y is 19. Therefore, if the value of y is 19, then the value of x is nilikuwa nimetumia substitution, so x is 68 minus 19. 68 minus 19, and that gives you 49. So the father today, if it is today, the father is going to be 49 years, and the son is 19 today. Now let's check. Let's confirm and check. 4 years ago, so 4 years the father will be 45. 4 years ago the son will be minus here, it will be 15. Can you see that the father 4 years ago alikuwa 3 times? So when you multiply here 3, the answer is 45. That means it is perfectly okay. But the question asks, find the age of the father when the son was 5 years old. So we simply subtract. If the son now is 19 today, 4 years old, it means minus 14 years here. When you subtract 14, the son will be 5 years. Also subtract 14 from the father. So the father was 35 when the son was 5 years old. The father was 35 when the son was 5 years old. By shading an unwanted region, determine the label of the region here. So here you need to know how to do this one. first you need to draw the table. For this one, you draw the tables. This one is 0.5. You draw the tables. For example, for this one, you say x, y. You say when x, you just need 2 points. When x is 0 here, when x is 0, so this is 0, y will be negative. No, actually, if this one is 0, 0, 0, oh, this y is going to be 0. So if x is 1, x is 1, so here is 1 and here is 1. So we will bring this on the other side. We will subtract 0.5 minus 2. The answer will be negative 1.5. So when you have such, you need to make the table, and then you have coordinates to draw the line with. So when you draw those lines, this one will be the required region. There was one line which was missing here. I think it was provided for. Yeah, this one. This one was provided. You needed to also draw that. So that one gives you this required region. So you can try and see. So one thing I want to insist on is the way you draw the lines. If the line is greater, it has greater or equal, that line should be a complete line. But if it is greater or less, it should be, you must also draw the line equal dotted. So you need to note that one here. If you don't do that, you will not score. If this line here, this line is drawn using a complete line, that is a 0. So you must, you have that in mind. You must have that one in mind. So this one should be a complete line, but this one should be dotted. Right? Yes. Number 13, in a triangle below, this one we will be given that PQ is the 6 centimeters, P and Q is 40 degrees, then R is 60 degrees. So 60 plus this, it means here, because a triangle should have 180, it means here it is, so this is 6 centimeters. So calculate to four significant figure the area of the triangle. So you see here, we have only one side. We have been given one side, and we have been given these two. So we can get this side. We can get this side using the sine rule, and the cosine rule. Cosine rule. These are the two things we need to use to, or we need to apply to get that one. So using the sine rule, we know that sine 6, because this one, if this is r, this is small r, right? You need to know that. This one is p, this is small p. And this one is q, this is small q, this side. So it means that r, which is 6, divided by sine 60 would be q over 40, over sine 40. You see that? Or would it be equal to p over sine p, which is 80. So n of them will give us. So you realize that we have this side here, QR is 6.823 centimeters. Now once we have two sides, we have the included angle. You need to use the formula to get the area. I have AB sine theta. I have AB sine theta. This angle here 40 is included inside these two sides, this side and this side. So we will use this triangle, this angle to get the area, and this is the area. Find the sketch below. The curve is this one. Now use the mid-ordinate rule with 4 strips to estimate the area enclosed by the curve. X-axis and the line -1.5 to x 2.5. So first you need to get h. You need to get the value, the h first. How do you get h? H is equal to xn minus x naught divided by, this one is, you have been given strips, so you divide by the number of strips. So x naught need the last part, the last one, which is 2.5, minus this one is minus 1.5. So you realize this one, a negative divided by negative is going to be 4/4. That means our interval here is 1, 1, 1. It's going to be 1.5, 1, negative 1.5, 0.5, like that. Then now this one is going to be the mid-ordinate. These are the mid-ordinate. These are the mid-ordinates. You see that? Now we don't need now this one, we only use the mid-ordinate. Now use the calculator and substitute these values in our equation. Our equation was y is equal to x squared plus 7. Once you get the values inside here, now we use mid-ordinate rule. y1, y2, y3, y4. You apply the formula and you get your answer. Remember, these are the ordinates. These are the ordinates, but this one is the mid-ordinates, right? Yes. So solve for x. Solve for x. You need now to, you can bring this to this side. You will have 216 x plus 1 plus 6 raised to power 3x is equal to 217. Then now you can write this number to power 6, right? That is now the first thing you need to know from the indices and the logarithms. So bring 6 here, write it. But one thing I want to insist is when you see this number, it is 6 raised to power 3 here. So what we have done here, this number 216, it is 6 raised to power 3. But initially there was x plus 1. So when we open this one, we will have 6 raised to power 3x plus 3. So what do you understand by this one? This is simply 3x times 6 raised to power 3. Do you know that? Those are the things you need to know. Now, when you are given this one and you are told to simplify this, what do? You check that the bases are the same, right? You take one base. And this is multiplication. Multiplication, you add the powers. So this is 3x. You add this 3. You see now we are going back here. So when you are given this one, you must understand that it is this one. Okay? Very important. If you know that, now once you do that, you simplify it in this manner. Then you say let x 3x to be y. That's one way you can do it. Then where you see 3x, 6 raised to power 3x, you put the y. So that is now, this is 3y, like that. You find that 217y is equal to 17. You find that y is 1. Y is 1. But we said that y is equal to this one, which is equal to 1. But what is 1? 1 is simply 6 raised to power 0, because any number raised to power 0, the answer is 1. So what we want is to make sure the bases are the same. Now this is 6 and this one, so the bases are the same. You ignore them. We have 3x, the power is equal to 0. Therefore x is equal to 0. Right? Very important. One interior angle of a polygon is equal to 80 interior. Remember the question that is saying one interior angle is 80, and each of the other interior angles is 128. Find the number of sides of the polygon. So there is 2 ways you need to know. But for the basics, you need to understand some basic information in Form 1. That is the sum of interior angles, or the sum of interior angle is simply n minus 2 times 180. This one also works. Again, you need to know that interior angle, if this is the interior, then exterior, they add up to 180. They form a straight line and they add up to 180. Exterior angle and interior angle, they add up to 180. These are the things you need to understand. So there is two ways. The sum of interior angles is given by this one, sum. Now we have been given one interior angle is 80. So it means we are going to remove this 80 from, because the number of triangles is n minus 2. Now 1 has been removed, so we will remain with n minus 1 as the number of triangles remaining. N minus 1 is the number of triangles remaining. Then you multiply with each of those is 128. Now you balance this times this one, this times this gives you this, and this like this, you can see. Now like terms together, and you find that the value of n here is 6. The value of n is 6. So giving you the number of sides. But that's not the only way. Like we can use the exterior. We know that if this is the interior, then the exterior should be 100. Because I have told you the interior and the exterior must add up to 180. That's another way you can do it. So that is very true. So then 180 minus 128, that is now the other one, will be equal to 52 times exterior angle. Whether we will be equal to 52. 52 imetoka wapi? This is, here we have interior 128. So exterior is 52. So we know that this angle, this one is the exterior angle from 128. It gives us the exterior angle. But we know that total exterior angles, they are equal to 360. Total sum of exterior angles is the 60. So 52, which is the exterior angle, times the number of sides n plus 100 ile tulikuwa nayo hii exterior angle will give you 360. So this one gives you n is equal to 5. Then we add 1 ile ilikuwa tulikuwa tumepewa ya 80. Then we find n is equal to 6. So these things needs a lot of practice for you to master them. A straight line L1 has a gradient of -1/2 and passes through the point this. Another line L2 passes through the point this and this. Find the equation of line 1. So for you to get the equation of line 1 which passes through here, we have the point, we have the gradient. They're very simple. You simply say y minus the point over x minus this point is equal to -1/2, and you are done. So we have the point and we have the general point x comma y. So remember gradient is equal change in y over change in x. So now y, which is change in y, this y minus this coordinate of y, which is 3, divided by x, change in x, minus the change in x is minus 1, which is plus 1, will be equal to the gradient, which is -1/2. Now you cross multiply and you get the equation is this. The equation of L2 in form of ax by plus cd. So the L2. So L2, another line L2 passes through Q and R. So we have 2 points L is passing through. So you need to get the gradient of that line. So the gradient first, you need to get the gradient is equal to change in y over change in x. That is 5 minus 3, 3 minus 1, and that gives the gradient as 4. The gradient as 4. Now once we have the gradient as 4, that is 8 minus divided by 2. Then now you take one point. You can take this one, Q or R. N of them will give you the, you use n of them, the answer is going to be the same. Now this one, you can put over 1 here and close multiply. So we will have 5 minus y minus 5 is equal to 4x minus 12. Then you will have this point here. But the instructions from here said you must give it in this form. You must do that. So bring this on this side. This one is going to be hii kivuka hii cosine pande itakuwa -4x. hii y iko positive na hii ikiruka pande itakuwa +4. That is it. But you can change this one to be in this one by dividing -1 throughout. So divide by -1 hapa itakuwa positive, itakuwa negative, and this one is also correct. It's also correct. The equation of a line passing through S and is perpendicular to L2. If L2 and this other equation, the line is perpendicular, then the gradient M1 and M2, when you multiply them, the answer should be -1. So if we have M1 as 4, then M2 is -1/4. So that now 4 times -1/4, the answer is -1. That is true. Now it is passing through 0.5, so y minus 1.5, x minus 0, and you get the equation of that line is here. The point of intersection of a line passing through S and L2. So this point S, this line S, they are meeting at L2, and this line is missing at this one. So how do you get that? So you equate the two equations. This one, you solve these two equations simultaneously, and you get the value of x and the value of y. So you can use elimination method, substitution method of the two equations, and of the two equations of the lines, and you get the value of x, y, where they meet, where they intersect. '22 was here. So the value of t, time, acceleration is equal initial final velocity minus initial divided by time. So we were given that the car starts from rest and accelerates at 2.5. So we have acceleration, this acceleration. But we know acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. So acceleration 2.75 is equal to 22, which is the final. You can see here velocity minus initial. Initial is 0 because it started from here. And it is giving us initial divided by time. The time is the one we are looking for, t. Therefore, our t is going to be 8 seconds. Distance traveled during the first t seconds. The distance, remember, you calculate the area of that section. So we have, you can see we have this, you can calculate the area of this, the area of this, and this. So the total area gives us the total length traveled of the whole region covered. But for this one, during the first t seconds, remember our t is 8. So from here up to here is 8. So if it is 8, then it is a half times 8 times the height from here up to here is 22, and it gives us 88 meters. 88 meters. The value of t, we have t now here. There is t here. T is here at this point. Up to this
Your
point.
wrist flicks the air like a sail catching wind. We step on hot tiles where the ocean ends. Palm fronds cut the light into moving lace. I don't know your name, but I know your pace. Breath sinks with the kick drum deep in my chest. No map, no plan, just this heat we invest. Spin me where the tide can't reach. Let the rhythm stitch us into one beach. Every turn writes a promise in salt and sun. This is where we're meant to be. Not one beach, one beach, one beach. This is where we're meant to be.
You laugh at the seagulls stealing our fries. Sand in your hair like stardust disguise.
The DJ fades to a distant hum, but your eyes say the night's just begun. Shoulders brush like waves on a midnight show. I've never felt this light before. Spin me where the tide can't reach. Let the rhythm stitch
So for this one, a question involving scale drawing, bearing, you need to be very careful because it needs a lot of accuracy when you are drawing. It needs a lot of accuracy, and the points must be parallel, meaning they should be parallel. So you can try and check if you can draw something like this, and then you will check the answers for your values whether they are closer to this one. So if they are closer to this one, you get 69, 58 there, you get 179, 180 something, 82, 81, it means you are very accurate. So that's how you will check whether you are accurate in drawing. Yes, that one will help you to know that you are accurate in drawing. But if you are not accurate in drawing, do not waste time doing this question. A solid is made up of a conical frustum, hemisphere top, so there was something which was missing here, that is like this. So a solid is made up of this one. We have been given this round height is 8, then the base 3.5, and the radius of the hemisphere is 4.2 here. Now, once you are given such a kind, it is your duty to make it the full cone by adding this section here. That will help you to get this x and whatever you do not have. So the question is find the circular base that is 3.5. So that one is simple. You use 3.5 pi r square, you get that 2 marks. The curved surface area of the frustum. The curved surface area is pi rl. So what we don't have here is the small x. We don't have this small x. We don't have from here up to here is what we need to get here. So we need to get the capital L because small l is here. This is small l, and this is capital L. So that's what we need to get. Using similarity, we will say that from here up to here is 8 plus x, right? And that now we use the from here up to here divided by 4.2 will be equal to from here up to here divided by 3.5. That will give us the value of x. So the value of x is 40. That is now small l is 40, and capital L will be 40 plus 8, which is 48. Now we use this formula and get the total surface area, or the curved surface area of the frustum. Surface area of the hemisphere. Remember, the sphere surface area for the sphere is 4 pi r square. So hemisphere is a half, so we divide by 2. That's why we are using this formula that looks like that of a circle, 2 circles. So that is how we get this answer here. Total surface, the similar solid has a total surface area of this. Determine the radius of its base. So if the total surface area is this, we need to get the total surface area of this thing we have calculated here, of the surface area of the core of the solid we were given. So that one gives us. Then we will use the linear scale factor, volume scale factor to get what we don't have. So it means the radius for that one is going to be 12.31. The displacement in S moving a particle is this one. The velocity of the particle, find the value of t momentarily at rest. Remember, momentarily at rest, velocity is equal to 0. The displacement during the 50 second, meaning from the 4th second to the 50 second. That's what it means. From the 4th to the 50 second. So displacement find the velocity of the particle, you differentiate once. So you differentiate inakuwa 3, 2 inakuwa 2 times 3 inakuwa 60 minus 9. That is our velocity function. Then now when t is 2, you substitute with 2, you get that the velocity is 15 meters per second. The value of t when momentarily at rest. At momentarily resting, velocity is equal to 0. So you equate velocity to 0 and you get time as 1 second. The displacement during the 50 seconds. So displacement, we have the function for s, which is displacement. You simply need to substitute the 5th and the 4th second and you get the answer 79. You don't need to integrate, you don't need to differentiate. There's nothing you just substitute with the 5th and the 4th second. The acceleration of the particle at the t. So acceleration, you differentiate velocity. So you differentiate velocity. This one will be 6 t minus 6. That is acceleration. But then you substitute when time is 2 seconds, and you get that the acceleration is 18 meters per second. A school in American Central decided to buy X calculators for its students at a total cost of this one. The supplier agreed to offer a discount of 60 shillings, Kenya shillings 60 per calculator. The school was then able to buy 3 extra calculators for the same amount. Write an expression in terms of X for the original price for the calculator. So if the calculators were X, then the total is 16,200 divided by X. That gives us the initial. The price for each calculator after. So now the number of calculators is going to be extra by 3. So we will have X plus 3, right? That is correct. So it means now we will form this. So this one, this is the cost for each. When you subtract, this one will be equal to this. Simplifying that one, it will give you the number of calculators to be 27. Calculate the discount offered to the calculator as a percentage. Initial, it is this, that is 600. Discounted, it is 540. Then 600 minus 540, over that you find it is 10%. So factors, I want you to try this one. Try this question and make sure you get it. Then you mark for yourself. You mark for yourself. Thank you. Remember to share this video to as many people as you. You can share it through WhatsApp. Hapo chini kuna kitu ka arrow kanaenda hivi, unafinya na kuambia share. You copy the link and share to wherever you want to share, to WhatsApp, even Facebook. You can share anywhere you want to share to, so that your friends, more students can get these papers they revise together with us.